Hello and thank you for joining us. Good morning to you. This is 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state number one family radio station. You're tuned in to your number one family radio station once again, which is your number one source when it comes to feeling the pulse of the nation and the voice of the people. It's your state number one family radio station. And of course, politics, nation building is what we start our day with our series of programs. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. Welcome to the program. This morning, again, we flip through the pages of our national dailies. We go through the stories, the undertone even louder, and of course, the situation of Nigeria. We go through the stories, the stories that are loud, the undertone, and the ones even not so loud. Nigeria is brimming with questions today, from the corridors of power in Abuja to the street corners in Ibadan, Kano, and in Anambra State. Coalitions are forming, alliances are shifting, and once unlikely partners are shaking hands under the table or sometimes on top of it. Is this the rebirth of a strong opposition bloc or just another political theater without structure? And while our politicians play chess, the ordinary Nigerian continues to ask, where's the check on rising prices, insecurity, and dwindling public trust? This morning we will, get into the headlines, not just what they say, but what they mean, where we connect the dots between policies and politics, power and performance. From the lead stories to the small columns buried on the pages and stories that matter. So grab your cup, your coffee, your tea as we dive into the stories for the day. Our analyst is also in the studio to help us make sense of all of the stories. We believe that when you have better understanding of the stories, it would also help you make better decisions, either at the polls or shape your orientation and perception about Nigeria, which is for good anyways, not to pull our nation down, but to build and develop Nigeria. Once again, you're welcome to the program. We start with the front pages, and this morning we have the Punch, the Guardian, and the Nigerian Tribune. Let's start with the Punch newspaper quickly. On page 35 of the Punch today, recapitalization, 5 banks hit CBN target ahead of deadline. Published today, the 7th of July, 2025. Moving on to page 2, 2027 coalition crisis brews as ADC chairman set terms for alliance. On page 2, with the picture of Senator David Mark. On page 31, which is the major headline on the Punch for this morning, 10 states borrow 417 billion naira despite higher allocations. 10 states borrow 417 billion naira despite higher allocations. The rider to the story says, Rivers, Taraba top debt surge as 10 states account for 34% of sub-national domestic debt. You find that story on page 31. We will dive into that in a moment to find out. 10 states, what did you do with 417 billion naira? And then moving on to page 3 of the Punch newspaper, page 8, I beg your pardon. Nigeria's unity under attack from terrorists, separatists, says the President, Senator Bola Tinubu. Nigeria's unity under attack from terrorists, separatists, says Tinubu. All right, that you find there, and of course a military parade here with the photo story, and also the Vice President, His Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, also on the front page of the Punch for today. Let's move on to the Guardian newspaper. We start with page 4. NLC warns against removal of labor issues from exclusive legislative list. You find that on page 4 this morning. On the same page, tariff hike slows new phone lines activation as operators get ultimatum. On page 5, more Nigerians losing faith in Tinubu's government, public institution, poll reveals. On page 5. Now let's move on to page 6. Oil theft eases despite $25.7 billion losses in 23 years as operators turn to Lagos. Oil theft eases despite $25.7 billion losses in 23 years as operators turn to badges. All right, we have that on page 6 of The Guardian. And we have the trend of crude oil losses and barrels. The trend is right there on the Guardian newspaper. Infographics, actually. Go there, you see the time of the amnesty period, the drop, government intervention, a slight drop, and then a spike again between 2019 and most especially in 2023, and the decline between 2023 and 2024. All right. And of course, we have the daily average total in million. Also, you can see it right down the Guardian newspaper this morning. Moving on to page 9, Tinubu orders security agencies to crush bandits. Separatist orders on page 9. And also on page 6, Obi affirms 2027 presidential bid as Wike bets against his ambition. On page 6. Moving on to page 5, Catholic group advocates electoral reform before 2027. On page 7, police warn Ondo resident against 777 cult celebrations. It's on page 7. And finally on page 9, Senate awaits certified true copy of Natasha's reinstatement order. That is on page 9. Now to the final story for this morning. Before we get into in-depth analysis, I am going to contest for president in 2027, says Obi, wants the North to trust him, dismisses VP slot deal with Atiku, justifies romance with ADC. Moving on to page 25, killings. Tinubu orders military to crush bandits and terrorists. 39 die in Kano, Lagos, Ogun crashes. It is well with us. We pray for the families involved there. On page 23, we are yet to receive CTC of judgment on Natasha, says the Senate. Kogi lawmaker vow to resume tomorrow. On page 23. And moving on to page 22. ADC plot to test coalition strength with Lagos local government poll. Holds talks with PDP and Labour Party candidate. On page 26 again, Wike berates coalition leaders, accuses them of seeking power for personal interest. And on page 22, North-East stakeholders hold pre-summit deliberations ahead of the Patriots confab. That's all we can take with the front story this morning. We read from The Punch, The Guardian, and The Nigerian Tribune this morning, all published today, Monday, the 7th day in the month of July 2025. Once again, you're welcome to the program Perspectives Unlimited. Watch us live on our Facebook page this morning. On Facebook, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. You can watch us right on that platform. You can also share your thought with us right there by dropping your comment for us on under the comment section, and you can be very sure that we will definitely read your comment, especially if it conforms with the broadcast standard. And please do not use foul language. Do not insult the leaders, but most importantly, pass your message. We can do that in a very civil and diplomatic manner. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we dive straight into the conversation, and Chukwemeka Munachiso will take us through the details and also help us make sense of all of the stories we will be working with this morning. Just stay with us.
Well, you can You see what we say, the coalition just adopted a party for 2027. So we're trying to work together. The opposition was trying to come together to work together for the sake of Nigeria. Today, I'm a Labour Party member, and I remain in Labour Party. But we have all agreed to work in coalition for 2027 election. And for that, we've just adopted ABC. Going on, other parties, other individuals are going to still come in. But it's just like an unveiling, like you used it before, an adoption, which will still go into bringing other people together under the same umbrella and saying, we want better governance for this country. We want to see a more competent government with the capacity and character to do the right thing. Where we are, the coalition, this coalition might have other parties that will come together, like it's happened in the past, and change the name of the party, anything. But right now, we've adopted one party. The other ones are going to come in. You can't say whether we're going to leave this or we're going to come into this. What is constant mind that we've all agreed to work together for 2027. We're not in 2020, we're in 2025. It's clear. We've adopted this for 2027. We are not abandoning where we are. At some stage, when that happens, you know.
I'm not going to speak for APC, but I want to say, in reality, that are the big weights of PDP. One by one, weight of them is a big weight of PDP that delivered its local government, its state, and I have abandoned the party. If we rate big weights by our summer days, how can you rate David Mark as a big weight of PDP? Let me tell you, with all due respect to you, his federal constituency, the daughter ran under APC, and she won. Yes, that's correct. He, as leader of the party, where all the funds are given, is not that one. Now, two things are there. It is either you are not being sincere with PDP, you are playing plans with PDP for long, or you are not on ground.
Welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited, coming to you from Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state number one family radio station. You just listened to the voice of Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate under the Labour Party in the last election, and also a member of the coalition, followed by the voice of the FCT minister, Mr. Nyesom Wike. Also expressing his view, most especially in line with the coalition and the personality of Senator David Mark, the interim chairman of the new coalition party, the ADC. With me in the studio this morning to help us make sense of them all, Chukwemeka Munachiso joins us this morning to give us clarity, especially from stories surrounding coalition, military. To get on, get to work, having the consent of the president, and of course the big one on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning: 10 states borrow 417 billion naira despite higher allocations. But first off, we'll start with the highlight of our weekend. Good morning, Chukwemeka. Thank you for joining me.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
And how was your weekend?
It was fine, just as usual. Thank God we had small rain in my area.
You call that small rain?
Yeah. No,
very small in your area?
Yeah, very small in my area.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't all that big.
Shocking.
But we thank God for the weather is now cool. We complained bitterly about the hot weather. And now that the rain is coming and rain is falling, everywhere is cool. So I like that. And, coupled with the fact that there is no power, so you can sleep with your windows opened.
Wow, you still don't have power.
We still don't have power. Yeah, the latest is that they stole our cable. And so
You don't have power, and then
they stole our cable, so we don't know where we are. We know we are bandless. We don't have a band.
well, all I can just say is sorry.
Yes,
Because it feels like power situation is better across board. I mean, I can say that for myself.
Okay.
That it's better now. I can do without my generator now, but only to hear that. I mean, it's not the same at your side.
It's not.
And then the stolen cable again.
I can't remember the last time I ironed my clothes. You can't.
Oh, wow.
Just wash and spread it with the water. So that it doesn't. You understand? It's a terrible thing, and that's why these guys that are using inverter to charge phone and they are making a lot of money now. So you go there, you charge your laptop with 300 naira, you charge your phone with 200, you charge your what do they call it, power bank with 250.
And what's the security around doing that? I even learned that the governor of the state even opened, that venture. I think up north, I'm not sure now, but I heard that the governor of the state actually empowered people
to
doing that business. And I'm just wondering, why should that business even exist in the first place, if not because lack of power supply?
Yeah, because of so when you get there, you see all manner of phones, but they'll give you a tally number so that you don't take people's phone, and you only take your own. So they tag your phone and give you the number.
And I'm sure that everyone also charging there somehow would also find a way of securing that place.
Yes.
So that invaders or outsiders will not come and invade the place and then
carry away all the phones.
With all of the phones and devices. I mean, it's a different thing that, because I know if my phone is there, I probably need to watch. But how about people that know that this is like a central charging port? And then come and then...
God will not allow that to happen in our area, because when you go to that shop, you see all manner of phones, laptops, and a torchlight and everything. If they should invade that place, I don't think that man will be able to pay.
It is well. All right. The rain is down. For those of us born in the month of July, we're used to that already. I was down with flu yesterday. It was really bad. But thank God for life. We're hope again this morning. Chukwemeka, there's a lot in the news. And I'd like us to start with the coalition. Last week, Olaliko Sonny and I spoke extensively on that, but I've not been able to feel your pulse on the matter. Also yesterday, Mr. Peter Obi was on national television, Channels TV to be precise, an up-close and exclusive interview to speak on his position. And the question of, are you moving to the ADC? And then we listened to that, in the audio I played earlier, explaining that this is just a coalition. We, all of them, are still a member of their political party. Anti-party politics, ADC, whether coalition or not, is a political party. They all still belong to a party, and all of that. But first off, let me start with your position, your view of this coalition. There have been speculation as to the same set of people were, saying they haven't done so well in their previous, political party or political position, are the same people moving to coalition, especially with the current situation of the PDP. David Mark, a senator and the one who spent over 20 years, I believe, on the floor of the House. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, that has been contesting or, bidding for that presidential seat, so to say, since 1993. Rauf Aregbesola, one-time minister and former governor of Osun State. And we can go on and on. Peter Obi, a one-time governor. In fact, a flag bearer of a party in the last election. And Nigerians are also now looking at, yes, this is 2025, like Peter Obi said. 2027 is still 2 years to come. However, who exactly would be the, presidential candidate of that party? Would it be Peter Obi? Would it be Atiku Abubakar? And maybe some other people that will also be joining that party because it is coalition. Your view of coalition, really, and then we start touching on some of the key areas highlighted in the dailies for today.
First and foremost, I want to state that we have always seen coalitions in our country, Nigeria. APC, the ruling party right now, is a product of coalition. CPC, AD, all manner of parties came together to wrest power from PDP. And coalition has been with us. and we are seeing another coalition again. Number one, it goes to show that, like I keep maintaining, that we don't have political parties. I keep saying it. And I will not shift my ground on that belief, which I hold strongly. If we have political parties, well structured, behaving like a political party, where all Nigerians are commerce, where everybody has a stake, we won't have what we are having right now. But the problem is that we don't have political parties. We have projects, people coming together for the sake of something at stake, which is power. When I was in the print media, I was working with a particular national dailies. I was in the features department. When we want to write on pharmaceuticals in Nigeria, they assemble a lot of writers and we come together. They share different arms of pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria for us to write. And we make a package. When we finish that work, they disband us. When there is another project, we come together. That's exactly what we are seeing on the political terrain. People coming together for the sake of wresting power from the center. We saw it when APC gathered all manner of human beings and they wrested power from the PDP. And we are now seeing it again playing out in our country, where political parties are coming together. You ask the question, why is it that it is the same people that are coming? Because there's no, the space is not, there's no room for Nigerians to come into these things. You know why? It takes a lot. It takes a lot to be a politician in Nigeria. It's not just you having the desire to change the narrative. It takes a lot of money. It takes if there's a level playing ground for if it is not fully monetized and very, very expensive, a lot of Nigerians will come in. That's why you see the same faces coming every now and then, because financially they have the muscle to shoulder their way into the political arena. That does not mean that there are no other Nigerians who have the desire to change the story of this country. There are a lot of them out there. But because they don't have what it takes, that's why it appears that we are recycling the same people every now and then. And that is why we keep on getting the same results.
Let's go to the question I asked again, because on the Punch this morning, Peter Obi says, we'll run for president, not Atiku's VP. You know, who do you think? I mean, though we are still in 2025, and I'm sure that a lot would change before 2027, but currently, right now, the question of who exactly of all of these people, because they are all heavyweight, you know, will be the flag bearer.
You see, Ayo, it's not about being heavyweight. If these people that are talking right now, I think at the end of the day, you know, they're all politicians. You may be looking in one direction, they will come out in another direction. If left for me, I would have loved them to bring somebody that Nigerians have not tested before. You understand? Somebody that is fresh, somebody that Nigerians have not heard about. Let's see what this. But Nigeria is not. Nigerians don't trust what they don't know.
I was going to.
Yes,
they
don't trust. Yeah, they don't trust what
Nigerians would trust.
Yes, they don't trust what they don't know. Atiku Abubakar, this is if he takes a shot at the presidency, this will be the 7th time. Is contesting for the top job in Nigeria, and speculations are rife that Peter Obi of the Labour Party may be considered, because if you look at his outing in Lagos State and in Abuja and some other states, and the fact that the youths of this country so much believe in him, that may be the trump card for him. You understand? Atiku Abubakar appears to be in the old brigade, which Nigerians don't really trust. And they really didn't trust the Nigerians have now in the ruling party, is why. But in all of this, Ayo, I'm not happy that we have left governance for 2027, which is still far away. I went to somewhere yesterday, and a man came to make a speech, and the man said something that touched me. That when I got home, I went to my study, and I was reading a particular book. We are projecting towards 2027. we are talking about 2027, and none of these people number their days. None of them number their days. None of them, you will see the way they are talking, you believe that they are God, that they know exactly, but nobody knows tomorrow. After listening to that man, I came back home, I was saying, is it not foolishness that even our leaders are talking of 2027 when they are still in 2025 and they don't have, they are not God, they have not consulted God to know how many hours left for them to stay on this earth. Vanity upon vanity upon vanity. I came back, I was sober, that all the plans these people are making, nobody has even thought of, if anything happens to me tomorrow, will I still, 2027 will be a, you understand? I don't know whether you know what I'm saying. I'm going spiritual.
Totally
yeah, this time around. We should face governance and leave 2027. There was a story in the good book about that man who prepared his table and congratulated himself and said, yes, now I will go and drink and sleep and enjoy myself. And the Almighty said, this night I will take your soul. These people that are running all over the place towards 2027, do they really know what 2027? They don't even know what will happen today's evening. That's the vanity of vanity and the foolishness of man. I call it display of foolishness, because men ought to number their days. Many people don't even understand that. Look, anything can happen. You are not even sure of the next 24 hours, and you are talking as if you have debt in your pocket that you can do whatever you want to do. So that's what I'm saying. Let us focus, and it is the ruling party that started all this. Because if they had actually be mindful that 2027 is so far away, I don't think we'll be having, because
all of this conversation.
Yes, the way we are talking now, we are talking as if it's the next tomorrow. We are going for election, but we are not. Let them face governance. Nigerians are not happy. The street is not smiling. That's what I keep saying, that we should shelve this idea of 2027 and focus on governance, so that Nigerians we have dividends of democracy. If there's anything still like that in our country, it's not all about 2027 is still far away. They should number their days. Nobody knows the number of years he will stay on this earth. Nobody knows. Nobody.
All right. Thank you so much, Chukwemeka, for taking us through that spiritual lane. Again, we're all spiritual beings. And then that also we must take note and should also, guide us in our utterances, and even in our actions
and plans.
As just like you said, it's not similar like that for the political, leaders at this moment. 2027 seems like the next month, but it's 2 years away. When we come back right after the break, we look at more stories this morning, and we talk about 10 states borrow 417 billion despite higher allocations. We'll look at that and more when we come back. Do stay with us.
Hi, this is Nene from the boat safety team. You can't see us, but we're right here with you on every boat ride. To your left is the ride insurance team. We insure your ride as soon as your trip starts. To your right is the record audio team. We keep a recording of your trip for 24 hours in case you need it later. And behind you is the customer support team, ready to chat 24/7. We're the boat safety team, by your side on every ride.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data. Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service. One Data? Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Give your child the gift of excellence at Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Are you searching for a school where top quality education meets care, love, and safety? A school where skilled professionals ignite young minds in an environment that stimulates learning, creativity, and moral growth? Do you desire a school that offers rich academic curricula designed to prepare your child for local and international examinations, opening doors to future success both within and outside Nigeria? At Juniors International School, we don't just educate, we discover and nurture each child's unique aptitude while molding them into highly productive global citizens driven by godly principles. Join us on the journey of raising tomorrow's leaders. Admission test into pre-nursery to year 5 holds on Friday, 1st August 2025. Venue: Juniors International School, Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Time: 9 a.m. Admission forms are available online at www.juniorsinternationalschool.com or at the school premises. Juniors International School, Center of Excellence.
Wells Radio, 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio, 89.3 FM. 10 states borrow 417 billion naira despite higher allocation. At least 10 Nigerian states collectively increased their domestic debt by 417.7 billion naira year on year, despite a significant rise in revenue allocations from the Federal Account Allocations Committee. A review of the official data has shown an analysis of the Debt Management Office quarterly report on sub-national debt revealed that Rivers, Enugu, Niger, Taraba, Bauchi, Benue, Gombe, Edo, Kwara, and Nasarawa raised their combined debt stock from 884.9 billion naira in the first quarter of 2024 to 1.3 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2025. This represents a 47.2% year-on-year increase, raising questions about fiscal procedures and the long-term sustainability of borrowing at the state level. The data also shows that 10 states combined domestic increased debt quarter on quarter from 1.26 trillion naira in the fourth quarter of 2024 to 1.30 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2025, an addition of 42.3 billion naira, representing a 3.4% increase in 3 months. The rise in this indebtedness comes at a time when the FAC disbursement to state have improved considerably, fueled by the rise in fuel prices, gains from the naira devaluation, and revenue freed up from petrol subsidy. However, the figures suggest that rather than leveraging these inflows to reduce debt, some states are even borrowing more. Rivers State topped the list with a domestic debt stock of 364.39 billion naira as of the fourth quarter of 2025, the highest among the 10 states. Chukwemeka, petrol subsidy, gain from naira devaluation. There seemed to be a lot of money, and not just seeming now. We can see on paper from the Federal Allocation Committee that states are getting more money. But in between all of that, we're seeing that this borrowing level of states are increasing, especially with this 10 state. And I'm shocked, well, maybe not too shocked, but River State in particular, to see River State, in between states. You can see Enugu, you can see Niger, you can see Taraba, you can see Bauchi, Gombe, Benue, Edo, Kwara, Nasarawa, maybe understandably, but when you see River State in the mix, you begin to ask the question of why. Let me get your view.
Even states like Ekiti, we expect to have to be borrowing and borrowing. They are not even there. You see, Ayo, you can't have good governance without accountability. It's not possible. It's like putting people in a ship on a very big sea without map, no compass, no direction, and ask them to begin to sail, where do you think they will land? They will never land in a very safe harbor. Democracy, that's why I keep saying that we are having a civilian government, not democracy. Democracy comes with accountability. When leaders are not accountable to the people, there's nothing they cannot do. Human beings cannot operate without accountability. It's not possible. You are talking of states. The federal government that removed fuel subsidy borrowed more than when there was subsidy. How do you explain that? So it's not only just states. The center itself that removed fuel subsidy has borrowed more than when there was subsidy. How do you explain that? Because there is no accountability. In a democracy, there is the accountability. You cannot just dip your hand into public coffers and spend money like a drunken sailor. The money belongs to the people and not to you. So we are running a government of profligacy from the center even to the states. So because there is no active participation of the citizens in our government, because it's not democracy we are practicing. And the democracy cannot thrive where people are largely illiterate. I keep saying it. Where people cannot hold their leaders accountable. The leaders are free with money. They are free to do whatever they like. When you collect money from an organization, there's what they call remittance. You remit the money. You give account. How did you spend the money? If we say we are running democracy, these are our leaders. Who are they accountable to? Was it not in this or your state that 63.4 how many billion to renovate a house? Are you listening to what I'm saying? So which people, nobody is asking questions. So what do you expect them to do? They will dip their hand into any purse as they like and do whatever they like with the money, because nobody is asking them, come and tell us how you spend. Go and read up about some countries. When you finish serving as a president, you come and give account of how many presidents are in jail because of I can't tell you their names now, because of what they did with the money that belongs to the people. Can you do this thing you are doing in China? Ganduje told us that yes, that in China there is there's one party state. He forgot to tell Nigerians that also China executes public office holders who are corrupt. So it's all about lack of accountability. Human beings will never do what is right if nobody is checking them up. Nigerians are not in a position for them to ask for accountability from their leaders. That's why we have all these people running around as leaders and they're not leading anybody.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
This is Aderonke from Muslim.
All right, Aderonke, please speak up so we can hear you well. Good morning.
Okay. Concerning the coalition movement, is a good one because I could remember vividly that it is through coalition the APC-led federal government contested it and voted out Jonathan there. So it's a very good one coming from that. At least if they rescue power from this present administration that has plunged us into poverty, hardship, and insecurity we are facing in the country. But I think by this time they should have known who is going to be the running mate for the president and both the vice president. So as we can with come 2027. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your...
So Ayo, what we are saying right now is that when there is no accountability, you don't expect people to know how to spend money. It's not possible. So we are not going to see it. And that's why all this coalition, all these permutations here and there about what I am advocating for is that let's go and practice democracy, not civilian government. Let's actually begin to practice what we claim we are practicing. If we are truly practicing democracy, our leaders should be accountable to us, because without us, there's no governance. Without the people, there's no leader. So it's not a question of...
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning to you. Your name and where you are calling us from?
Yeah, this is Salami. I'm calling from Mawoton.
Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Salami.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir.
I'm happy to hear from you. I'm happy that your cables were stolen. I thought that maybe cable stolen was peculiar to our water during the local area, but everywhere. We go to you guys' house. We have done our own anyway.
It is well.
No, on the issue of coalitions, what I want to talk about, because that seems to be the only thing happening in our country right now. you ask me, I'll say I'm happy. I'm happy because there's a challenge to the current administration. Because the up to, I think, 2 days last week, before they came out with their adoption of AGC, the FCC has always thought that nobody, they're not done very well, who can come out. We gave it with a loquacious attitude and well-read. But we now see that everybody is now running a data. Honestly speaking, that is just it. But my advice to Nigerians is that if people have been asking, people have been captivating these people in coalition, what has people done, what has Obi done, what has Mark done, the rest like that. The point is this, it seems we have not learned our lessons as a nation. Because I want to cast our mind back to 2015. We voted integrity. What has integrity done for us? Where has integrity landed Nigeria? Because as I remember in 2015, these people, those who are sick bed in hospital almost left the hospital to go and vote for Buhari, thinking is the one that will take us to Eldorado. No, we base everything, our hope on integrity. You know what is our language. And I just want to appeal that it takes people with enormous resources to float parties, to face the government and talk to the power. None of those people that are going to integrity have this. So let these people help us in Nigeria. I think there are 2 things. One, to provide a voting platform authority for us as a nation, and also to keep the ruling party in government. Mr. President wouldn't like to use power at this time. So that is the angle I'm looking at here. People should just kind of cooperate and pray for the coalition ADC. I just pray they come up with a very good candidate and the government, the Indian government too, I pray for it too, but we now have a balanced platform now. It's not that, because it's like, people are not looking at voter apathy. This coalition will now kind of bring about robust voter participation.
Okay.
Even sincerely, we now have voter participation as against the voter apathy we have had.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Salami from Awoto. Thank you for your contribution there. Quickly, let me put out the studio lines: 0916 893 1000, 0915 334 893, and also 0911 333 893. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Ayo.
Good morning to
Emeka.
you, Mr. Tony from Uliole.
My name is Tony Egba.
Good morning.
Is there
to
any
you.
coalition in ADC? I think people are just joining the party because I have not seen any party. Labour is not there. PDP is not there. I think individual joining the party. And Obi has the right to say he wants to be the president, like everybody, like Atiku. Atiku may contest for 20 times. That is his own decision, like everybody will do. I think what we need is that the umpire is the problem. If the umpire is fair, we people can come. We don't have money. We want to make our presidential form free and so on. But the umpire are not fair. And when the umpire are not fair, even when another ordinary man will win the election, probably the man with higher price will target. The only thing I know is that, like Emeka said, 2027 is still very far, and the equation can change at any time. Let even we, the masses, be active and be involved in politics. A lot of people are not involved. No, money is here, but let us even start involving in politics, knowing our voting rights. Learn to say no when we see that something is unfair. Look at the man. I don't know whether I read it this morning. That Wiki is saying everybody, those politicians are selfish. Is it not selfish? Every interest is selfish first. Before you can talk about public interest, you can't love people more than you love yourself. You have to know what you are. Wiki himself is selfish. If he's not selfish, his son was saying a kid is entitled to have a CFO in Abuja. Waiting be the work with those kids do, with them they entitled to CFO. And I let people arrested the man that leaked those information to the press. What kind of nation do we have? Let the masses be involved. Let us be aware that it's our right to do the right thing at the right time. Good morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. Great one there. We're going to come back to that. Let's finish this story about the states and borrowing, and we're going to come back to the question Tony Egba raised about can we truly call the ADC a coalition? Labour Party is not there. PDP is not there.
Individuals.
All that we're seeing, individuals. And what do we really call coalition politically? Is it about the individuals, politicians coming, or the political parties coming together as one?
I think that's a gimmick. I think
it's a
game plan.
It's a great opening our eyes to see the bigger picture here. And also, to broaden this conversation further. As regards the borrowing, in contrast, the Enugu rapid debt accumulation, more than doubling in 1 year, has raised eyebrows in the state. While it's unclear what projects the borrowing are financing at the moment, the scale of the increase demands, thorough scrutiny, because people are now asking questions in Enugu State. If you're borrowing extra, what exactly are you doing with that extra?
There's something I want to tell you, Ayo. One way through which these people take money they will like is when they talk of infrastructure, critical infrastructure. There is no critical infrastructure rather than the people. The true test of an average or a good economy is the people. When you are borrowing for critical infrastructure, you're building bridges, you're building this and that. That is one way. You know why they are doing all these things? It's an easiest way to take money. Look at the people that will climb the bridge. Look at the people that you are constructing the road for. Look at their life. How are they living? Some of them don't even have the stamina to climb the bridge. The people first. If the life of the people, that's why there is a lot of suffering in Nigeria. If you go to a country, do you know how you judge a country? When you land at the airport and look at the citizens, that's when you get a true picture of whether this country is poor, down or out, or this country is okay. Nigerians are suffering. All these borrowings, go and check what they have done with it. You can't find any meaningful thing. They will tie 1 kilometer road and they will give you a humongous amount of money. They will look at one government house that just need to repent. They will say that they say they're renovating. When you finish renovating it, who is living inside that house? You know what I'm saying? So the most critical infrastructure, if you ask me, the people make life livable for the people. Then you have achieved whatever you want to achieve. But when you talk of building roads, building bridges, building all these things, how will you tie it to the welfare of the people? You can't.
Let's go back to the stories surrounding the ADC very quickly. There's a lot of them here, but this one we cannot overlook this morning. Coalition crisis brew as ADC chairman set terms for alliance. The collapse of all structures of the African Democratic Congress, as announced by the former chairman Ralph Nwosu, to enable a new leadership to drive the coalition forces ahead of the general election, is not sitting well with some state chairmen of the party. A coalition powered by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar announced the adoption of ADC as a platform aimed at thwarting the second-term bid of Senator Bola Tinubu in the 2027 election. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, Mr. George from Olugweru. Good morning.
This is Mr. George from Olugweru.
Good morning.
Chukwuemeka, may God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
The passion with which we are speaking concerning what is happening in this country, even some people, they are not appreciating it. They are forming their own coalition to attack us in the way we are talking out concerning the things that are happening. Look at this issue that Chukwuemeka is hammering on now. You are borrowing money and they are not seeing the effect of what you are borrowing that money for, especially in the lives of the masses. And you say you are borrowing money. Do you know how much they have borrowed? I know you have record of them, Ayo. All those money they are borrowing. Travel. Move from here to Oyo or to Bomosho. Move from here to Benin. Move from Benin to Warri. Go from Warri to Akwa Ibom. You will see that there is no structure. There's nothing they are doing with the money. This money is shared among themselves, and this is the power they are using, telling us that we cannot talk. And we are just sitting down watching ourselves. And some people will come up to challenge those who are pointing out where the errors is coming from. Is this politics? Is this democracy? Please, Nigerians should rise up and speak. If we cannot talk, then we have lost everything. We don't have money. We don't have power. But we have our mouth to complain that we are suffering. People should let people know that people are suffering. The country is not moving anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. George. Thank you for calling the radio station. Moving back to the coalition story. A coalition powered by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and its subsequent lead named the former Senate President David Mark and then the ex-Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola as the National Interim Chairman and National Secretary respectively, while Abdullahi Bolaji was named as the National Publicity Secretary. Furthermore, also issued a statement announcing the resignation of all party leadership position to enable the David Mark-led executive take charge of the affairs of the ADC. However, this is not going down well with, the existing members of the party, especially Dumebi Kachuku, the ADC 2023 presidential candidate, who described Atiku and the co-ADC convert as bunch of greedy old men, in his words. In an interview with The Punch, the ADC chieftain in Benue State, Elias Adiko, lamented that the manner the new leadership of the party emerged as unacceptable. Reactions from established or already old party members.
Chairman,
good morning to you, Benga Myro. Thank you for calling us.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Senator.
Good morning, Benga.
Now, I want to continue from where Mr. George stopped. He asked the question. He said we should continue speaking up. Of course, we've been speaking up. It's not been quiet. But the question is our voice being heard? Are those at the top, are they hearing our voice? Even if they are hearing, are they facing towards what we are yearning for? That's another thing, another way to look at it. Now, on the borrowing that we are talking about, see, some of those governors believe that one of the ways they can accrue funds to themselves by going on borrowing spree. And they mean that once they go on borrowing spree, at the end of their tenure, there is little or no accountability. There is no agency that will come after them and ask them how far they have done with whatever they have borrowed. Even though that has borrowed in billions, at the time they go, after leaving the office, even if EFC should come after them, they have borrowed or allegedly stolen billions of naira, let's say like 20, 50 billion naira, if they are going on. At the end of the day, when they are being arrested by EFCC will tell them, the court tell them that they should go on plea bargaining, that they should drop probably 5 billion, and the person will be discharged and acquitted. The person will have 40 billion naira to spend to himself. So there is no consequence for this that study has that this people are perpetrating. So it is given those governors an edge to borrow more because they know that at the end of their borrowing, nothing is going to happen. So and lastly, on the issue of the coalition, this present coalition, we are just starting, and I want to believe that maybe as time goes by, we still have some people that come and join, not individuals now. We have some parties that will align with them. Labour people, the Labour Party, their house is in crisis. PDP, their house is in crisis. Probably when they have a family report, if they'll be able to put the house in order, probably there might be a stock at the end of the day that they will have to unite and to be a force to reckon with, then coalesce with ADC. And by then, we'll be able to have the family
all right.
report.
So Thank you so much.
That to you, Mr. Iwaide, Mr. People make an listeners, that God will spare our life to witness 2027 election and beyond in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Thank you, Mara. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. Chukwemeka, let me get your reaction.
You were saying something.
The crisis in the ADC already.
Coalitions always have crises. Remember what happened during CPC, AD, and all of them they had. Yeah, at the end of the day, policies that are give and take, there will be compromises here and there. You understand? And they will sort themselves out because what is at stake is bigger than all of them. So our coalitions always have those internal wranglings.
It's normal.
Yes, at the onset. I remember vividly when AD, CPC, and all of them came together. The formula for sharing position almost put a spanner in the works. But at the end of the day, they were able to overcome it. So it's a teething problem that the coalitions are now having.
They must go through.
They will have it, yes. It's just like a missile.
I mean, rather, some people are saying, what about calling some form of a central meeting to agree on all of this rather than the former chairman just saying, yes, we are giving to these people to run. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Thank you for calling us.
Okay, yeah. Yours sincerely. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name again, sir? Mr. Tayo.
My name is Tayo.
Yes.
You have rightly said it now. You said Tayo.
Yes, Mr. Tayo. Sorry.
Good morning, Mr. Tayo.
Thank you, Mr. Tayo. Please go ahead. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
For quite some time. That's why you know.
Oh, sorry. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you. You see, coalition is good. coalition said the Jonathan Park out of us in 2014, and it brought in Buhari. People do the monumental freedom. Government was what I call monumental freedom. We are worse than under a leadership than when we were with Jonathan. Things were okay. I know I had a child with that time. The bag of rice at that time was 2,000. I bought it at Bokojo. I bought it at 2,000 naira. We all know what the price of the bag of rice is. So that is that. You see, this president won. They are a coalition of expired politicians. You know, internally displaced the politician. What is that? What is damage? Let us discuss that. Tinubu need a very strong opposition. If I left to me, I want to get back immediately because I'm suffering. I'm suffering. I'm a family. And I'm not fighting it on Saturday. This plan here, although we are told that they are our people, not the Hausa, that they put in Hausa that will be heading the clip for them. They are our Yoruba, they are our people here, holding the capital. So that's all. So as things are now, I'm more or less in the bad mood as far as my farm is concerned. So what we are saying is that these are not the set of people. This present coalition, they are like that of APC of 2014. Please get it right. Coalition is good. Coalition is good. It's good. We are suffering.
All right.
Yeah, as I speak to you now, the dad has not paid us that minimum wage. And Tinubu is aware. It's like, we are from friends who are ministers now who are related to what is
Thank you
happening.
so much, Mr. Tayo,
So,
because
good
of
morning.
our time. Good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Tayo. Chukwemeka, I want you to comment quickly on this story. A recent survey conducted by an independent non-profit and non-partisan opinion research think tank known as African Polling Institute showed that between 79 to 83% of Nigerians expressed little or no trust in this Tinubu-led administration, National Assembly, and the judicial, arm of the government.
Yeah,
they put up a poll, and 79 to 83, expressed little or no trust in it.
It is very obvious because I'm a street person. When I go to where people are and sit down with them and hear what they are saying, you know that Nigerians have given up. Honestly speaking, you stay inside the taxi, you go to the marketplace, you go to drinking places, you stay where people stay and talk about this. Just throw up a story about Nigeria and hear the comments people are making. They feel abandoned by the government. Many of them feel that there is no governance, and all because the anger they have is that we are in 2025 and they are talking about 2020. Many people are angry about this thing, but there's no platform for them to express their anger. Go to some places, you hear what people say. They will tell you, see these people, they are not even talking about how to make food available, and they're talking about 2027. The anger is all about 2020, what they are doing about 2027. Nigerians are not happy.
All right, that's our show for today. Thank you, Chukwemeka, for your time.
Thank you for having me, Ayo. May God save Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Our colleagues in Yoruba language will be coming in at 8 o'clock to take Agbeya Wirin, Agbomagbe in Yoruba language, and then AM Sport will be coming in a moment. And that's where we draw the curtain on the show today. And as we've seen this morning, the headlines may be heavy. The issues complex and the questions unending. But in the midst of it all, one thing remains true. Nigeria is still a land of promise, and each of us carries a piece of that promise. Let's make today a great day and also make Nigeria proud as a nation. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. Good morning. Have a great day.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.